Bonjour my gourmet friends, I hope you're doing well today, and a warm welcome if it's your first time here. Take a moment now, look at this masterpiece, golden, delicate, rising with the grace of a ballet dancer. This is the beauty we're chasing today, and if you follow well the 6 key points I'm about to show you, I guarantee your souffle will rise beautifully. Ready? Let's begin. If this inspires you, a like or a subscription help this humble channel grow. Thank you truly. Now let's gather what we need, and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to my kitchen. Okay, here are the ingredients for a classic cheese soufflé that we're going to make today, and nothing extravagant. It's already all in your fridge or in your pantry, like the milk or the butter and the flour, and nothing here will break the budget. Yet together they will create something unforgettable. For this recipe, I am using some Ramekin, 250 ml, 240, and actually you have to put them straight away in the freezer. Okay, this one they're only 5 centimeters high and diameter 8.5. Now I use cheese, butter, eggs, milk, flour, corn flour, and seasoning, nutmeg, salt, and pepper. That's it. Before anything else, we have to prepare the Ramekins. Alors, this step decide how high your souffle will rise. Brush them with the melted butter, always upward strokes. Now you have to freeze briefly and add a second coat. Then you dust with flour and tape out the excess. This thin layer becomes the layer your souffle will climb. Keep the Ramekins in the fridge while we prepare the base. Okay, I have prepared also some cheese lozenge to put on the top of the souffle. It's a type of garnishing that will add elegance. It has to be thin enough to float. If they're too thick, they will sink. Now we put them in the fridge. Now we can separate the eggs. Room temperature eggs whip better. Keep the white perfectly clean. Even a drop of yolk will stop them from trapping air. And we're going to do the base now. Now our mise en place is ready. Let's prepare the bechamel. Okay, now let's prepare the base. It's a thick bechamel that will become our Mornay sauce. So, in a small pan, you melt the butter gently. Then you add the flour and the corn flour in one go. And you whisk into a small roux. Let it cook for a minute or two, just enough to lose the raw flour taste. When it's ready, it releases actually a soft and nutty aroma. Remove now the pan from the heat. You season your cold milk with salt, white pepper, and a touch of nutmeg. You can add now 1/3 of the milk to the roux while whisking quickly. Then you can add the rest and bring it to a gentle boil. The sauce then thickens. It becomes warm, silky and alive. This is your sauce bechamel. Now, off the heat, you add the yolks one by one, whisking immediately. You don't want to have an omelette, of course.
Yes, the yolk enrich the sauce and give the soufflé a stronger and more stable base.
Now you can add the grated cheese and you stir until fully melted. And just like that, our humble bechamel become a classic Mornay sauce.
Now you can cover this bechamel with a plastic wrap touching the surface. This prevents the skin from forming, and our base is now ready. Now let's prepare the egg whites. That's the soul of every soufflé.
Place your room temperature white in a bowl or in the mixer bowl. I use a clear bowl to show you the different phases. Okay, now first you start to beat the egg slowly. This is when the air enters the whites. If you go too fast now, the bubbles will break before they form. And when the white turn milky and foamy, you can increase the speed gradually. You add a pinch of salt near the end. Attention, attention, stop beating at soft peaks. That's the classic bird's beak. It's shiny and flexible, not stiff. That is the texture that gives the soufflé its perfect rise. Now let's bring everything together. You add a spoonful of white to the Mornay base and whisk to lighten it.
And you add a second third
of the remaining whites and you fold gently, patiently and respectfully.
One hand turns the ball and the other lifts and lets fall.
Now the air stays trapped. That air is everything. Now you can add the rest of the white eggs and fold it just until combined. No more. Fill the ramekin to the top without pressing down. You can just step gently on the cork board to release hidden air bubbles. But also avoid touching the sides. Now you can add our little lozenge for a great presentation. And the final chef's gesture, run a spatula around the inside rim at a slight angle.
This helps the soufflé to rise straight and proud.
Now our soufflé is ready for cooking. You start baking at 200 degrees for 5 minutes to give it that initial oven spring. Then you reduce to 180 and you watch them rise for 15 to 20 minutes depending on the size. But attention, never open the door for the first 15 minutes. Inside, heat and air are having their quiet conversation and the soufflé is finding its strength. When the top is golden and rising proudly above the rim, that's your moment. Remember, a soufflé needs 20 to 25 minutes to be well cooked inside, or it will collapse. That's the main reason of soufflé collapse, by the way. Now the moment of truth. Here is a classical French cheese soufflé, crafted with care and patience. It had to be served immediately because the soufflé waits for no one. Bring it to the table while it's still standing tall, light, steaming and alive. I cannot wait now for tasting this beauty. Firstly, the texture inside should be soft, airy, almost trembling. Now the taste. Delicate cheese aroma, a hint of nutmeg. It is warm and comforting. You see, a soufflé is simple and magical if you follow these 6 key points. Now this beauty is now yours. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another culinary adventure. You can do it too! And if this recipe brought you some joy, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. Okay? It will truly encourage my humble channel to keep sharing more of my experience with you.